Everybody. What's up, everybody? And welcome to the first episode of the Let's Be Real show. And TJ, they're going to say, hey, TJ, why did you feel the need to rename the midweek show? Why did you have to do a rebrand? Well, I was inspired by my man Connor over here because he says, let's be real all the time. And let's be honest, we are real on this show 100% of the time, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, see, there we go. There we go. So I say, hey, Connor, let's get this together. He throws together a logo. All of a sudden, we have this show. We have this layout. And we have the absolute legend that is Ola from the Fight Week show joining us today to talk some Arsenal. We are done with the international break. No more of this. Oh, how's England doing? Gareth South. I don't want to hear Gareth Southgate's name. I don't want to hear Greg Berhalter's name. I don't want to hear anybody's name. It's time to talk Arsenal. But let's talk to our boys here. Ola, how you doing, brother? You good?
Bro, I'm good. I'm happy this international break is done. It's over with. I'm here with you guys on a debut of a brand new show. Yeah, man. Thank you for inviting me and making me a part of it.
No, man, anytime. And you were just talking backstage. You're fired up. The Fight Week show is absolutely blowing up. You got a partnership with Bellator. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Oh yeah. We like I said, Bellator reached out to us and we're partnering them in promoting Bellator 299 Dublin. Bellator Dublin 299 is going to be Ogden versus Fabian Edwards for the middleweight title, and we're promoting one of their fighters, Kenny Black Diamond Mokonuana, and he is on a tear right now, and we got the opportunity to have signed shirts with him, have photos with the fighters in the backstage, have 2 signed tickets. It's going to be awesome. So keep your eye out for the promotional video. It's definitely going to be coming out soon. Probably tomorrow is going to be coming out, and you're going to learn all the steps to be able to win this ticket and all the prizes that goes along with it. But yeah, it's great. This big promotions reaching out to us to partner with us to do
That's
all this
incredible.
So yeah, we're really excited about it. Really excited.
Bro, no, I'm just gonna say, Connor, we're gonna one day we're just gonna be saying, yo, we knew Ola before he absolutely blew up, before he was like ringside, UFC, Bellator. No, we're just gonna be like, don't forget about us little people. Ola. That's all I'm saying.
Come on, dog.
Don't forget us little people, bro.
Everybody that knows me know that ain't even in my character, man. You know what I mean? Anybody that really knows me know that I ain't even like that. So come on.
I know, brother. I know, brother. Big up every single time. Connor, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to the Premier League, man. I just want football to be back. And I know we've only got another month until we've got more international football, maybe a month and a half. Yeah. But we don't care about that. We've got some good games coming up. We've got the North London Derby next weekend, which I can't wait for. I really can't wait for that. Love the anticipation up to those kind of games. But it's going to be a good one, man. Everton, we haven't won there since Arsene Wenger was manager at Goodison Park. So this means a lot, not only just for our progression in the league, but for rights as well. We need to be going there now, and Everton are really bad at the moment, like really bad. So
awful.
We got to be winning. But no, I'm buzzing, and I'm looking forward to this new show as well because I like it. I definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel about me just absolutely copping your saying and making it into?
I love it. Any way to promote myself even more. So hey, love it. And
bro,
we got Ola on as well, which I'm even happier about because Ola's a legend, as we all know. So
absolutely. Big up everybody. We got 20 inside. Make sure you guys are smashing the like, sharing this channel around. We are 28 subs away from the big 500. We have incredible guests coming to this channel. First starting with Ola. Tomorrow we got Lee Gunner, and then we got Everton. Freaking, oh man, we got so much stuff going on this channel. It's unreal, and we could not do it without every single one of you guys in the chat. Let's go ahead and call them out. We got our boy Dal, obviously, in the chat. We got Fran. Me and Fran are going to be on Tottenham away in about an hour, talking to those Spurs fans about how we're going to absolutely dummy them in a week. We got Carl Rossi. Jezzer is in the chat. Danny's in the chat. We got Carl Rossi, we got Nico, Gunnar ER, we got Tony, we got all you guys, Mama Flossie, big up Mama Flossie, and everybody else. If I did not mention your name, we will mention your name soon here. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I want to talk about Bukayo Saka. I want to talk about what we've been talking about for seems like a full year now around, are we going to run this kid into the ground? Is he getting chopped up too much? Is he playing too much? Are we going to wear him down? And it looks like what we've been saying for a while is coming to fruition. He has a nagging injury that I think is contributing to some of his poor performances. Obviously, his poor performances are, average performances to a normal footballer, but he is our star boy. And I think he's kind of fallen off over the last 2-3 games. But Ola, what are you thinking about this? And how does that translate to our game this weekend away at Everton?
For me, I mean, I've been banging this drum for a minute.
You above all people, I think.
I've been saying I will bench him. I've been saying it. Come after this international break, because look, he doesn't get a breather from Arteta. He doesn't get a breather from Southgate.
Nope.
This guy plays every single available minute there is, and that's not no knock on him. That's just how good he is and how influential his game can be. But because of this nagging injury, plus a little bit of burner on top of it, plus even like teams doubling up on him. Sometimes they got 3 players marking him, kicking him down. I mean, we heard what Steven Gerrard said, when he was in charge of Villa, like kicking, like, and this is what they want to do to him, right? For me, his game is suffering. His ability to play ball is suffering, and he needs that time off. He needs, look, every benching, the same, I've tried to make this clear. I've tried to make this, like, differentiate this to a lot of people. Benching Kai Havertz is a different benching to Saka. You benching Kai because it's shit. You benching Saka because you want to bring life back to his game, because it's on the other end of burnout. It's on the other end of carrying all these injuries, man. And I feel if we don't look after him like we're supposed to, we're gonna end up regretting it. I really, really believe so. I think his game has been affected a lot by whatever niggling injury that is carrying, and it's clear for all to see. And you got to look at it that, look, if he's playing how he's playing all this time with that injury, not really had the chance to look at it, how good will he be when he's injury free, when he's got nothing troubling him? How good will he actually be? And that's what we really need to look at right now, man. And for me, he needs protecting. He needs protecting in that way. I'm not saying like, oh, go and shout at the referee every 2 minutes that it goes down on the field of play. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the lifespan of his career needs protecting. And yeah, he's on a big contract right now, but that doesn't mean he has to play every single minute of every game, especially when he's carrying a knock. You know, because I think that's quick. He's always quick to play players that are injured. He did it with Partey. I saw it with Timber. Timber when he sat down in that first half, and he shouldn't have been coming out in the second half. I don't care what you say. The guy looked like he was done. He shouldn't have been coming out in the second half, but he did. We done it with Partey. The same thing. The man was crying for injury in the Tottenham game. He pushed him back on the pitch, right? So this is where when you have really, really good players, you have to look after their careers. You have to look after their bodies. And Saka is one of them in the team where we can't really find a player in and around the club that does exactly what he does as he does it. Which is why it's been hard to kind of find a replacement or backup for him. But with this niggling injury now, how does not going for Kudus and letting Kudus go to Villa or wherever he fucking went to, how stupid does that look right now?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of looking silly right now.
I'm telling the fact that we didn't go get a utility right wing now is looking even more dumb than before. I mean, we had who were we looking at before? Musa or Dembele, right?
Diaby. Who went to
Diaby. Why do I keep saying Diaby or Dembele? Diaby. The fact that we didn't go to Diaby and Dal, I know, is watching this right now, punching his keyboard because he was calling for this 3 months ago, and we let him go to Villa, and now we're stuck, and we're likely going to be stuck with either Reece Nelson or having Trossard play on the right, which I would honestly like to see. To be honest, like we can afford. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tagline. Let's be real, okay? We can absolutely play Trossard on the right in this game. Yeah. Trossard is crying out for minutes. He's literally saying he's going to the boss and saying, "Boss, I need more minutes. I did not come over here to play second fiddle to the likes of Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah." Like
when I was on Jesse's show yesterday, that was the front three that I actually called out. I said, "Look, I'll start Trossard, start Jesus, and start Martinelli." And I think those three, they've got enough movement within themselves to cause the Everton back line some trouble. You know, yes. I truly believe that. And yeah, forget the hoodoo that we got over there. I think if we pick the right players, we could really go and get the job done at Everton. And Trossard definitely will be in my lineup. I would drop Saka. I really would.
Yeah, I know. And that's what Jess was saying on his show about an hour ago. Connor, what do you think of this whole situation, man?
Yeah, he needs to be rested. It's just as simple as that. I mean, the fact that I saw the thing earlier, I think Ola put in the group chat about how he's still feeling that niggle from last season in the back of his Achilles. And if he has his Achilles out, that's him gone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's over.
Easily. And if Arteta, and you can't. I like to say it's more on the medical team because they're there for a reason. These guys are in the club. They're paid for a reason to look after the players, make sure they're fit and healthy. If you're seeing that he's still got this problem in his Achilles, but you're still giving him 90 minutes every single week, you're either deluded or you don't even care for the players that you're working under. And the thing I find funny is, why did we sign Reece Nelson to a new contract? Even though I didn't want him to sign a new contract, I'm just speaking out of Arteta here. If we signed a new contract with him for how many odd years? Was it 4 more years, 3 more years? Why aren't we rotating him then? If this problem is true with Saka, that he's still got this problem in his Achilles, why did you bother signing Reece Nelson again? Why didn't you go out? Why didn't we get rid of Reece Nelson? Just let him go on a free, because I think he was on the last year of his contract. Let him go, because we love letting players leave on a free. And then go in and bring someone else new. Or let me think about it. We just let Nicolas Pepe go to Trabzonspor for 400k. We could have had him. I mean, I'd have personally rather had Pepe than as much as we'll always thank Reece. Well, it didn't end well in the end. But when that goal happened last season with Reece Nelson, the Bournemouth game, which was fantastic, even though it didn't unfortunately end up leading us to winning the league, I'd have rather still had Pepe this season than Reece Nelson. So why did we get rid of Pepe? And at the end of the day, we are going to, and it's sad to say because I really hope it doesn't happen because God knows what we're going to do, but we're going to end up running Saka literally into his grave if we're not careful enough. I don't actually remember the last time he sat on the bench at kickoff for Arsenal. I think is it 75 consecutive games or something like that? 70 games?
Something wild like that, man.
Something wild like that. I mean, I don't think we've sat him. So he didn't start the second leg. I don't think he started the second leg of the Europa League fixtures that we lost against Sporting. And then he started, I think the last game he didn't start was like in the League Cup. I don't remember the last time he didn't start a Premier League game.
Yeah. I think about it, that's 2 whole Premier League seasons he has played non-stop. And as much as he's delivered, it's not like he's playing and he's not delivering, he's delivering. But there's a time and a place where you got to remember, this guy is only 22 or 21. He's still so young. Yes. And if we have these players available and want minutes and can produce what we need them to do, i.e. the likes of Trossard, and I'm looking at Fabio Vieira at the moment, he's producing. As much as we do disagree with him being in the squad and we don't really think he's the best option, he's still getting the assists, as he's come on the bench twice and has got assists. And we all know that he has the choice of playing on the wing, on the right, if he wants to. So if we have these choices, why aren't we using them? And if we know there's problems with Saka and he needs rest, why aren't we resting him? It's crazy. It honestly is crazy. I mean, I know he got rested against, I believe it was Scotland, didn't he, the other day? But still, my point still stands. If he does have this problem in his Achilles, which is the probably bar, I've seen some mad injuries in my time watching football, but Achilles, in terms of coming back to the game, is the worst you can get, because there are ones that can kick you out the game forever and you don't return. But Achilles, that is something you've got to be wary of. And the fact that it's not being spoken about enough, and we're just sort of sidelining it. And you can see in his performances, he isn't 100%. I think we can all agree on that. We're not seeing. Oh, here we are. Yeah, big up.
Yes, Plumber Pro, Connor's dad, aka Connor's dad.
Yeah, big up dad. And so I lost my train of thought now.
I got to sing that need unplugging, brother.
Yeah, just give him a call. But anyway, sorry. As I was saying, we've got these players, and I completely agree with the Trossard stuff. We've got these players. Let's be utilising them, because we're going to need them when we go into the Champions League games. Remember that. Right. We're going to need these players. So, by God, if we start Saka in Champions League, Cup, and Premier League games, say goodbye.
There'll be nothing left, and that's a really, really good segue into what I was going to ask you guys next. Is so for Everton. Me personally, and this might be over the top, I don't want to see Saka anywhere near that match. Don't even have him on the bench. Don't even have him in the squad, in my opinion, because you need to rest him. You need to keep him out. We have plenty in this squad to beat Everton, period. And Everton has been awful. Dyche is not producing the way it produced before. There's no new manager bounce. Man, we could be Dyche's last game. I mean, I literally am expecting a 4-0. minimum against these guys, period. Doesn't matter. But I think, who would your guys' starting 11 be? Maybe this can be a little bit of a rotating conversation. Who would your starting 11 be for Everton? And then who would your starting 11 be for PSV? Because we have PSV before we go on and take on the Spuds, the noisy neighbors down the lane. So I'll kick off the conversation. I mean, honestly, I want to see the same back four that we saw against United. Yeah. I cannot believe I am calling out for a back four that includes Alexander Zinchenko, but Alexander Zinchenko is looking okay. Obviously, that was his first game that he saw.
Also,
he's looking okay.
He's our only available left back as well.
Well, I mean, you could put Kirior back there, but that isn't his natural position.
Yeah, you could, yeah, but I mean, like actual left back, like it's.
Yeah, you're right.
He is our.
He's a left back. He played center mid against you guys against England, and he looked great.
I was going to bring that up later, but you just said it now. If they're playing him in midfield, and this guy got a goal the other day against England, right? He's playing in a DM role for Ukraine, and this guy's still playing him at left back. What's going on, TJ?
I mean, we're just dumbass fans that don't know nothing about football.
TJ, did I not tell you this months ago? Play Zinchenko in midfield, and
we've been saying this for a year.
And buy a quality left back. Don't buy Kai Havertz for 65 million. Get a banging left back for 65. Theo Hernandez, Furlong Mendy. I'd even get a Stupinian from Brighton. All these quality players. Give them the money. They'll come to the club. Money talks. Not 65 million for Kai Havertz. Anyway, I've said my piece. I said this.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, we can keep getting into that. But I mean, just finishing up my starting 11, Rice, Fabio Vieira, and Odegaard. Yeah. Drop Kai Havertz. He won't, but I'm gonna keep beating this drum until the skin falls off, man. I'm serious. And then Saka, Jesus, Trossard. Like it's that simple. You walk away with a 4-0 victory with that starting 11. Kai Havertz needs to be dropped. He won't be dropped. But I honestly like it. It's looking long with Arteta with the Arteta agenda going on right now. But Ola, what do you think? What are we going to look like against Everton and then going into the Champions League? Our first Champions League in what 6-7 years? Good Lord, it's been way too long.
Is this the team for the Champions League? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Raya. Raya and goal.
Yeah, Raya. Absolutely.
Raya,
He has
Raya
to start,
starting,
I think.
Raya starts in goal for me. Again, I'll probably go with the back four, and this is just to start getting Raya used to the back four and how the back four works, because eventually the transition will happen, right? And the one thing that I do want to remind everyone is we can't leave Raya sitting around too long, but it has to be at the right time. We can't just say, fuck off Ramsdale, in come Raya. That's not how goalkeeping area works. Maybe with the outfield players, you could do that, but with goalkeeping, there's a little bit more politics, a little bit more subtlety, a little bit more give him the rope to hang himself sort of thing that goes on along with that, because it's the last line of defense. So that time will come when Ramsdale actually does that. But I do want to remind everyone, Raya's on loan, right? We haven't bought him yet. So if we don't do right by him, he'll be fucking off back to Brentford.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So we have to find a way, the right time, to bring him in. And I think this Champions League games will be good for him to kind of get used to the usual back four in the team. And I'll go with Smith Rowe in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Along with Rice and Odegaard.
Yeah.
And I'll play for that game. I'll play Eddie. I'll drop Jesus. Play Eddie, Martinelli, and Trossard.
Solid.
Yeah,
that'd be my team. And if we're struggling, bring Jesus on to come and to try and change the game. With however minutes left that Arteta wants to bring him on. So that'll be in and around what I'll be thinking for the Champions League game.
Yeah, 100%. Connor, what do you think, man?
This is for PSV, yeah?
Just to grab a drink real quick.
No worries.
No, go for it, brother.
I'm doing this. Just want to put a quick side note. I'm doing this team knowing that we're going to play the exact same team we played against United, against Everton. So, Havertz, Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's what's going to happen, personally. I don't think, unless Jesus plays, because obviously he scored in the last game, maybe
I think Jesus is definitely going to start against Everton. I could see, you got to think like Arteta. I'll get this in and then I'll let you fire away. You got to think like Arteta. Arteta is going to start Jesus, and he's going to start Eddie against PSV.
Yeah, I think he'll be rotating them a lot this season. I think I could see that happening. But for me, I want to see Raya, because I want to see how he can do. I know at Brentford, they were, especially last season, they were rotating a lot. They were going to a 3 at the back. Then they were going to a 4 at the back. So I think he can work with both, which I do like. And I think he can play out the ball well as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. And I'll put in Raya. I'll go for Gabriel and Saliba in the back line, just because we don't have the defensive choices to change it, because Timber injured. See, we could have done that. He's injured. Plus, he was from Ajax. He could have been really good for this game. Dutch league. He could have known about them, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go for Gabriel and Saliba in the centre backs. I'm going to go with Zinchenko at left back, because do you know what? Actually, no. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Ben White at right back. And I'm going to go for Tomiyasu at left back, just to give more rotation to the team, personally. And I just like to see something a bit different, because as much as Tomiyasu has had his moments, especially last season, before he got injured, he was a bit shaky. I do still want to see him play a bit, because I do think he can be good on his day, and he can play at that left back role as well. I'm going to go for a 4-2-3-1. I just want to see a bit of change. I'm going to go with Declan Rice, and I'm going to go with I was going to say Jorginho, but I don't know. I think Jorginho is just more of an El Neni now, just sort of sitting on the bench. Don't really. So actually, I'm going to go with a 4-3. I'm going to go with Declan Rice. I'm going to go with Martin Odegaard as he's the skipper, and I'm going to go with Fabio Vieira. Man, he deserves a start.
I think he deserves a start too.
If he gets something against Everton, I feel like he deserves to play. So I'm going to go with Fabio Vieira. So Rice, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira. I'm going to go just on personal preference because I know there's an agenda. People probably say I've got an agenda. I'm going to go with Jesus over Eddie. I just want to personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with.
Jesus is a better footballer, so.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm going to go. Do you know what? Because I want to see Smith Rowe play, but I'm just trying to be realistic here, and this guy ain't going to play him. I'm going to go with Trossard and Martinelli. I don't think Smith Rowe. I'd love Smith Rowe to play so badly because he needs minutes and he's such a good footballer, but I just don't think Arteta's going to play him. So I'm going to go for Martinelli and Trossard for me.
All right. Yeah. No, I mean, in my Everton 11, I think it's probably not going to happen because he's going to put Havertz in there, and Havertz, I don't think it's going to be really interesting to see what he does with Havertz, especially if Havertz puts in another stinker against Everton, which he probably will.
You've seen the comment, DJ. He's relating him to his wife.
I know, man.
It's like and all this stuff.
He's going to keep hammering and hammering and hammering until he has no recourse. Until people start like calling for his job, because we are honestly been playing with 10 men and we're lucky to be 3-1-0. We're lucky to have 10 points.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if we're being real honest with ourselves with the teams and the formations, or the formations that we're putting out there and the teams that we're fielding in that formation, I mean, it hasn't looked great, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and I was going to say 4-2-3-1 as well, but I think it's a little negative against PSV. I think we need to go and attack, and I think Fabio Vieira and Odegaard need to start. So we'll see what happens, man. I just really cannot see Havertz, and I don't see where he comes good. I just don't see it. I started somebody else's starting 11 for the PSV game. Jaminho says he wants to see Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu at the back, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Odegaard in the middle, Saka, Gabriel, Jesus, and Martinelli. Jaminho, I can't help but notice that there's somebody missing. I can't help but notice that you might have an agenda against that one person that might be missing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just guessing here. Ravi asked, TJ, do you think Trossard should be starting more? I think we all do. I think we all agree that Trossard should be starting more. And the fact that he's being vocal about it now, good. Yeah. Go be vocal about it, because honestly, there are one or two people in this lineup that at times he can do better than. Martinelli hasn't necessarily been ripping up trees. Like, yeah, he's been fast down that line. He was very, very good against Nottingham Forest, but what has he done since? You know what I mean? Besides provide pace. I really do think there needs to be more rotation with Trossard. We did not bring this guy in. And honestly, can you name me somebody, maybe aside from Martin Odegaard, who's been more solid than Trossard? I think not.
No, definitely.
I agree.
So yeah, no, it's as simple as that. We got 29 inside. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes up. We got 28 likes. Let's get that up to 35 likes before the end of this stream. Big up everybody inside. It's late night Thursday night in the UK. Make sure that you are smashing the likes and hanging out with Connor, TJ, and Ala on the first episode of the Let's Be Real show. Connor, I'm sorry you do not get any copyrights from that. From all the money I am making off of this show. All right. Let's see. Yeah, make sure you're getting your questions in, guys. We're probably going to go for another 30 minutes, and then I got a jet. Big up Footy Chats. I see that you're in here. But yeah, so with the Champions League coming up, actually, you know what? No, I want to talk about Vinay.
Oh yeah,
Vinay is leaving the club. Thank God. Vinay's leaving the club. The real ones have been calling for his exit for a while. He joined in September of 2020. And Ala, what have we won since then? Exactly.
Not a damn thing, really. You know, I mean, not a damn thing. You know, my question to Vinay is what took him so long? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What took that guy so long? I mean, come on. I don't really even know what it really does at the club. Yes, carrying the title CEO around, but like,
Mate.
really, bro, like what is it? What is it? What is it really do? What's
Getting
really
Josh
his
Kroenke
job?
coffee.
You know,
Yeah.
and this whole CEO role that that is been on, at the end of the day, there's a lot of money spent with no real results. The only thing that I could associate under Vinay is us tearing up 11 bloody contracts and not making your sporting director that works under you to do his bloody job properly and make some money off of these dead players, like every other club does. That's on his head too, not just Eddie, not just Edu. That's on him as well. That's on him as well. You've got to look at Vinay for that. That's a lot of contracts ripped up without getting a dime for any of these players. And I've seen dead players floating around the Premier League for big money. Like Yeti. Go ask why you tell your people them to come buy some of our dead players. I know you took what's his name?
Turner. Matt Turner.
Yeah.
And Tavares as well.
Like you should have bought more. You should have bought more. We knock down prices.
We should have thrown in Cedric half off, in my opinion.
You know,
I don't get how we can't sell player. I don't believe for a second. If we can sell Rob Holding to Crystal Palace, we can sell anyone. I don't believe for a second that we couldn't get a single million for Nicolas Pepe.
It's ridiculous.
That was beyond me. We couldn't get. We were that so far down that we could not sell him, and it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude, but that is just how bad our guys are on selling players. It is just shambolic, and I hope that someone else comes in and fills his boots. But Ola, go on, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, for me, I think Edu needs a stronger boss, somebody that's really going to make him, do do like what his role is required. Right, he brought in Declan Rice. That's probably the first major player that is signed for the club since he's been at the club, right? But we see more marquee players come. I'm not counting Kai Havertz with that stupid money we wasted on him, right? That's another one that is looking like we ain't gonna get fuck all. If anybody think we get that £65 million back, you got something else coming. That's money down the drain that we could have put on someone like Maddison and another decent player that's actually going to give us something. Facts. And if Vinay had anything about him, he'd be making Edu go and get Ivan Toney right now. I'm hearing Chelsea's all over him. He could start training from next week. Why aren't we talking? Why aren't we all over this? These guys come out and said pretty much twerking for us. Pretty much almost saying, yeah, take me. I love this club. Right? And we're sitting on that. We're sitting on our hands, debating whether we should bring on Eddie, whether we should bring on Jesus. Like, come on. And all of these, like I said, it's not just on Eddie, on Edu. It falls on Vinay as well. It really does.
Yeah.
And bro, I can't look at that. James,
what
house and
CJ nailed it.
Right everything for 65 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see James Maddison, as much as we hate to say it, absolutely tearing up trees at Spurs.
Absolutely killing it. He will be one of their star players this season, 100%. But I know for a fact, I can tell you for free. And listen, Spurs fans come for me. He did not want to go to Tottenham. I don't think Tottenham was his preferred destination. I think he'd have rather gone Chelsea or even Arsenal. But we chose Kai Havertz. I just don't understand it. I really don't. Like, How can we? You look at the comparison on how both players have been performing in the league, and you can see clearly one's been performing better than the other. And we spent more on the guy that's been performing less. I just don't understand it. But the thing I'm really happy about Vinay leaving is, and Ola put it so clear. And listen, I'm not one because I don't know Vinay. I don't know Vinay personally. I don't know what type of person he is. But from what I can see, from when I do see him, he seems like a very push around kind of guy. Edu can be like, "Oh, sorry, Vinay, mate." He does though. Yeah. If he's Edu's boss, it looks like Edu's bossing him at times. The only time I've ever seen Vinay is when he takes pictures with the new players. He doesn't get involved with the fans, which is what his role is meant to be, by the way. One of the parts of his chief executive role, he's meant to be part of the fans. He's meant to be sort of coordinating with the fans, trying to see what they could do to improve the club. You don't see any of that. You do not see. And when I was watching the Amazon documentary, he sort of just sits there and just. Now, listen again. I don't know much about Vinay. I know
that documentary is supposed to show what Vinay does.
Exactly, but Vinay's been there.
Vinay does at the club.
Yeah, Vinay's been there for what, 14 years, like in total, bar chief executive, and it's been what, 3 years.
Yeah.
For a total of 14, 15 years. But when I look at him, he looks like a guy who doesn't have a clue about football. I watched him in the documentary with Arsenal, and he was with Edu and Richard in Richard Garlick in the office, and he sort of just sits there like, yeah. Like it just doesn't. He just didn't look interested. It doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. And when we can have that opinion because of the way we've gone around our business as a club. Let's look at realistically. Since he's been in the role of chief executive, what's one successful thing he's done? I don't think any one of us can name one or two things realistically. What's he done in his role?
I'll tell you what he's done. Well, I got something for you.
Go on,
he's complicit in that brown paper envelope that him and Don Raul was spreading around and eating off when they signed Pepe. That was on that watch too. Yeah. Oh, you think we forgot? Oh, we ain't forgot about that. We ain't forgot about that. That brown, different knock Arsenal, different knock, Somebody should go and give him a different knock on his blood clot. I'm telling you right now, that brother there he's been nicking a living.
Yeah.
This whole time at the club. It's not even a joke, man. It's a madness.
Yeah.
I can't believe that we've put up with this guy for so long. We need somebody that's actually going to come into the club and do what's required and make the people that under you do what they're supposed to do. Delegate properly. Like you said, if he looks like a guy that can get pushed around.
Yeah, he does.
Someone says he makes coffee. His coffee is shit. Shit coffee maker. Dead coffee. I'm telling you, he can't even make coffee right, man. I can smell it from over here. Just to smell the coffee. The more coffee is rank. What took him so long? What took him so long to leave this club? What took him so long?
And I read what was it? I think it was reading. I don't remember whether it was an Athletic or Guardian article where they were saying they were announcing that he wanted to go and pursue other things, and it sounded like Josh was just like, "Yeah, go, get out."
Yeah.
Like it sounded like there was no trying to make him stay. There were no hurt feelings. Oh, well, he's always welcome back at the Emirates. Yeah, I hope.
It's always the same though, TJ. He's moving on to a new challenge. He didn't even have a challenge at Arsenal. Let's be real with it. He didn't have a challenge. The only time because the whole point of what he's meant to be doing is juggling. From what I know, sort of, he's meant to be juggling the funds, but also working with the club, i.e., the fans. I have not seen this guy speak to one single Arsenal fan publicly. I have not seen it at all.
Because he's not intelligent enough.
Actually, to be fair to Edu, he does go on the big channel and he does speak. So at least he's involving in something like that. But you don't see. Same with Richard Garlick. You do not see this guy. He is invisible. And that is why I hope now that Vinay's going at the end of the season. I want Arsenal to bring in an ex-Arsenal player / legend who wants the job. Because they all know damn well better than anyone how to run the club and what the fans want from the club. We had, what's his name, Flamini coming in, saying he wants to come in and take over Arsenal. He would do a madness at Arsenal because he'd know what it means to take over the club and do what needs to be done. He wouldn't take... And I know Flamini wasn't the biggest hit at Arsenal. He wasn't one that goes off the top of your head and says this and that. At the end of the day, he's got money. and he wants to use that money on the club that he loves, which is Arsenal. And I
Someone like
guarantee,
O'Leary, you know what I mean? Someone that has that fabric of the club about them.
100%, Ola. And that's what we need at Arsenal. We need people who want to be at the club every single day and work damn hard to make sure that we are at the top. We don't stop. I've got the rhymes as well. You know what I mean? Like, literally, this is something that I've been crying for. I remember when we were linked with that, I think he's the most wealthiest guy in Africa or something like that, and he was an Arsenal fan. I remember we were linked with Daniel Eck. He was an Arsenal fan, the Spotify owner. I know he wanted to do a bit of like a mix thing. That was all a bit shady. But there's been people who have wanted to come in who are Arsenal fans. I don't believe Richard, Vinay, or even Josh, definitely not Stan, or even Arsenal fans. I don't think they even really care that much. The only time
they don't.
These guys are at the trophy lifts, because that's when they give a shit. And they'll sometimes sit in the club boxes, the box clubs, for games. But they have their sunglasses on. They just sit there. They don't do anything. You know,
they do I mean, it's the same. It's the same with their sports franchises over here. Obviously, I don't watch the Rams, but I watch the Nuggets and the Avalanche. You don't see them unless they're lifting a trophy. Yeah. You just flat don't see them. Yeah. And the only reason I saw Josh at the Arsenal game in the United States was because it was in the United States. Yeah, you can't tell me differently. You can't tell me differently. 100%. And it's gonna continue to be this way, everybody, as long as the Cronkies are in charge. So I wouldn't get your hopes up for any sort of world beater to come in and take over for Vinay. I mean, honestly, we can have a.
We've had TJ. We've had Rouse. More before that. We've had Rouse. Who was the fella that we had that went to AC Milan? I swear he was the chief executive. Oh, the bold fella. Someone remind me in the chat. They'll know. He was a right fraud as well. Was it Keswick? I can't remember. Anyway, we've had Ralstonelli, who we all know that Pepe deal, as Ola said, was shady. That was shady. We all know that. And then we've had Vinay. If we make a triple threat and do the exact same damn thing and bring in some guy that just really doesn't want to do anything, then I'm sorry, but come on. We need someone who will direct this club into the direction it needs to go into. Because like I said, Vinay is the type of guy where Eddie will go up to him and be like, sorry, mate, I haven't done it. You know when you haven't done your homework at school and you've got the teacher that's kind of nice and they let you off? That's Vinay. He'll let you off every single time. He'll be like, no, it's all right. You can do it next week. It's okay. That's so Vinay reminds me of.
I don't know what kind of teachers you had, Connor, man.
I got my ass kicked. No, Ola, the difference is we're too old. That's the different generation, dude. Different generation, bro.
There was some teachers who were like that I know that were like, oh, I can't, just let him off, you know. And not very many, but there were a few. But that's the type of person he reminds me of. It's really easy going. It's like, oh, it's okay, you know. It'll be fine, you know, like that kind of person. You got to be there, standing your foot down, really going for it. Because the reason I'm saying this is because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in terms of the discipline of the club, if that makes sense. You know, we came second last season, and there was repercussions on the decisions that were made, and there was no discipline from it. There was no, I don't know what it was. It was a sort of like, you know, roll over, rub your belly, let's go again, you know, kind of thing. There was no. I don't know. There's not enough coming out of the club, in my opinion. And I think Vinay's one of the problems. But then again, that was it. Gazidis, that was it. And Ivan Gazidis, that was, I think, the one before Ralstonelli. And he was just as bad. So, yeah, let's bring in someone that wants to do the job. That's all I'm going to say. Let's just bring in someone that wants to do the job and lead this club into the direction it needs to be in. The club that it was before I was born. Let's just say that.
Facts. Connor's dad says Charlie George will be bang up for it.
Yeah, 100%. He loves Charlie George.
Absolutely. All right. First of all, big up Tottenham away. Your takes are absolutely dead. We are going to turn you over in 2 weeks. I cannot wait for it. Or a week and a half, I guess I should say. It's coming really quickly. Pause. But that being said, thank you for upping the engagement in the chat, though, Stel. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's not Mari because Mari doesn't go around telling everybody's frauds, and Mari's running our show right now. And Mari, I'll be over there in a minute. But big up Tottenham away every single time. Will, Mari, Iggy, and the guys there. I'm not going to include Stel because he is, in fact, a bald fraud. Okay, next. Yeah, no, I mean, what else needs to be said about Vinay, man? Like, it's one of those things where the engagement it's Arsenal has been more like a business than anything else, where you have owners like the group that owns Manchester City, and the Saudi group that owns like PSG, right? Or not, or Qatari. I think they're Qataris. Either way, the Middle Eastern group that owns PSG, they are there to win. Like it is a sport for them. Success is the only difference. That's why you are not going to see Manchester City drop off anytime soon. And you're seeing guys like, teams like Arsenal having to go in and just get a string of luck or a purple patch like we saw last year. Like, can we honestly say with the lineup that we have and the squad that we have and the fixtures that we have that we're going to win the league?
Nope.
I can't. I'm getting asked this all the time. I was on Salva's channel last weekend. He asked me if we were going to win the league. I can say no. I can't say yes. What do you think, Ola?
I don't see it. I don't see it. And I quickly
don't see it either.
I quickly want to piggyback on something that Connor said about Villa.
Go for it.
Now. And for me, when I say these people that work at the club, they're not fans of the club. They're not like us. That when they go, we're still right here. And that's why I call these guys mercenaries, all the way from the top to the players on the pitch. Every single one of them is looking for the next challenge, for the right price, for their cause. And the only cause is to them, not us, unless we're paying them the right amount of money. And as soon as somebody else comes along that's offering a fresh challenge and a new pound for their buck, they're gone. Yeah. And this is one of the problems as a fan base, by getting emotional connected with all these people that work for the club. Like, they're not fans. These guys aren't fans. They don't think about the club the way we do. We love this club. We want this club to do well every single time. And every time that we go out to play a game of football, we want them to put their best foot forward. In turn, get the 3 points, get the result, and get to the objective that you set out to do at the beginning of the season. And for too long, we've been patient as fans. People keep saying, "Yeah, have some patience, is working." Like, bro, how much more patient do we need? There's not more patient fan base in this league than Arsenal fans. We've been waiting a long fucking time. Yeah. Start delivering. And if it means people like Vinay and that come out of the club, so be it. Bring in another mercenary that's going to get the job done. That's a better one than Vinay. Sorry, I have to come back on that one there. I needed to.
No. It's totally cool,
mercenaries, bro. Man. Real mercenaries. Trust me.
Yeah. Here to there says slightly disagree, TJ. We've amassed a nucleus of elite young players, but we lack the proper management to finish the job. I mean, that remains to be seen, I think. I've drawn my line in the sand in terms of Mikel Arteta. We need to win something, or I want him gone. It's that simple.
100%.
It's that simple. So we will see if that's true here to there. But if he runs this group of nucleus of elite young players, as you say, into the ground, the Martinellis, the Sakas, then what do we have left? Yeah, we have Martin Odegaard left. But honestly, who else? I was
going to say to you, Joe, I was going to go back on your point earlier when you said about, do you believe that we have good enough squad depth? And this is what I don't think people are wrapping their heads around. A lot of people, as much as I'm loving the wins at the moment, especially at United, when I'm loving when we win, as any football club, any football fan does, sorry. But you've got to understand, you look at the team, we are actually, even though I didn't want him at the club anymore, we're now worse defensively off than we were last season because Rob Holding isn't here. We've got one defender left that can actually play at centre-back. I know Tommy Asu can play there. I know Ben White can play there, but I mean full-on, guaranteed, we know can do the job there. Kivior is sort of the decision now. Mm-hmm. As soon, and I don't want it to happen, I'd touch wood because we're screwed if it happens, but I don't think people are taking into consideration, as soon as we get one injury in any position to a main player, we are done. So that'd be Saliba, that'd be Declan Rice, that'd be Thomas Partey, that'd be Bukayo Saka. Any one of them, and that the team will be. We saw it with Saliba. We saw it when Saliba was not in the team, and we could be damn well in that position again this year. And I don't think some Arsenal fans have wrapped that around their heads properly. Because it's all well and good saying, oh, but it hasn't happened. But it could. You got to think about the coulds. Because if you look at Manchester City, if the likes of Ruben Diaz does get injured, they've got replacements to go in there. You know, if the likes of, I know it's a bit more hard boots to fill, but if Erling Haaland does get injured, Julian Alvarez looks fantastic. He's getting goals for fun. Yeah. They've got the team to carry on doing it, to finish over the line. As much as people want to be rating this window a 7, an 8, a 9 out of 10, let's be real. We have the same amount of depth that we had last season. We needed more numbers in than going out.
Facts.
We needed more. And you don't have to spend 200 million on free players. Invest wisely. People made comments earlier. We could have got Maddison and James Ward-Prowse for 65 million. That's 2 better players over all the one we got in Kai Havertz. Just make it make sense. Seriously. This is why I say, TJ, every single stream. If us casual fans can see this, why can't the guys that are up there doing all this stuff, why can't they? Speak
for yourself when you're talking about casual fans, blood.
Yeah. But actually, I'll say casual. We're bigger fans than they'll ever be, but it is what it is. But do you know what I mean, though? This is the type of thing.
Of course.
If we can see it and we don't even run football clubs, Ola, TJ, how can they not? It just makes no sense. Honestly, It's crazy, man. We just haven't invested well. Again, we've brought in a good player/players, but not enough to move us forward, if that makes sense. Because we got rid of Xhaka to bring in Declan Rice. We got rid of, you can say, Rob Holding to bring in Timber because we're filling in that extra slot, if that makes sense.
Right.
We didn't bring in more than 2 defenders, 3 defenders.
Man for man is what you're saying. Man for man.
Matt Turner for David Raya. You know, it make it make sense. Make it make sense. Seriously, the only addition we brought in was Kai Havertz. That was it. That was the addition we've made. And we may as well not even have him because of the impact he's made so far. And that is why I'm not getting ahead of myself. That is why I'm not saying we're going to win the league. That's why people need to chill, man. Chill out. Spurs are ahead of
Connor, you're not being a top gooner YouTuber. You're not. Why are you not?
Let's be real.
Come on.
Let's be real.
You need to be more positive. You're sounding really negative right now.
Yeah, sorry. Come for me. Hit me in the comments. But let's be real, yeah? We're fucked. No, I'm joking. No, but listen. And like I say, we talked about it earlier. Bukayo Saka. If he gets injured, who have you got to replace him? We didn't bring in a winger. We didn't bring in numbers. Invest correctly, spend correctly, you'll do the job. We even loaned out this Marquinhos kid. If we needed someone, we got rid of him. We got rid of Nicolas Pepe. We got rid of all of our options. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then we're going to expect the same the portions of the same starting 11 to play up to three matches a week. Let that sink in. And we have not seen that amount of football being played by this club at a sustained rate for God knows how long. Yeah. You look at the Arsenal schedule. Look at the Arsenal schedule, especially once the League Cup kicks in. We got Brentford away, and I expect us to win that match. Yep. And then we have the FA Cup starting in December. Yeah. This has not been out, and I echo everything that Jez said on his stream. Go back and watch that. The FA Cup does mean something to this club. We've won it 14 times. We cannot just throw these trophies away. And honestly, because we know, and I'm going to highlight what Gunnar ER said here, and I'll toss it over to Ola because I got to get out of here after this. So we're going to wrap up after this. But Gunnar ER says, let's be real. It's all going to end in tears. Not me. I'm not going to cry over this because we knew it was coming. Yeah. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or any sort of football genius to understand that we do not have the man-for-man depth that other teams have. It's just the straight facts of it. Straight facts of it. So yeah, no, I'm not going to cry over it because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Let's be again, not mean to over tag it. I'm just going to tag it until it's dead in the ground. Let's be real. We don't have the depth.
No,
we don't have it.
This is the sick thing, TJ. This club will get us so hyped, i.e., put us in a title charge, which we haven't done in over 20 years. Put us in a title charge, and then still manage to mess it up in the end. That's what's the mad part, and that's why I was so seething last season, because we were literally there. We were there, TJ. It was one more step, and we were there. But because of the recruitment, because of the bad negotiations, because of practically bringing no defensive options in January, we crumbled.
Hey, Connor, they just failed to season the fish.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They didn't season the fish.
Yeah.
The fish is bony as fuck. And that's how we've ended up where we ended up, man.
And we're here again.
It's crazy.
Yeah, when I get to the local seafood section of my grocery store, I just start punching the packaged fish. Just like, I'm done with it. They're just like, what is wrong with this guy? Anyway, all right, guys, we got to start wrapping up. That's been about an hour. And again, thank you, Olive, for coming on, man. You are an absolute legend. Anytime you're welcome back on this show. Seriously, it's awesome having you here. Shout yourself out, man, again, and congratulations on your continued success of your channel. You are absolutely smashing it, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. People, if you love combat sports, if you love MMA, the Fight Week show is the place to be. We're always busy on there. We're always loading content on there. Any kind of content that's got to do with MMA, that's got to do with combat sports. That's where we really talk about it. So come and check us out on there. We got interviews with UFC fighters, with Bellator fighters, with PFL fighters, Cage Warriors, EFC, you name all the promotions. We talk to all these guys, man, and we got a good relationship with them. So come and join us on the Fight Week show. We've got a watch along coming up this weekend. Valentina Shevchenko is going to be challenging back for her title. This is a rematch against Alexa Grasso. It's going to be happening on the Fight Week show. Come and check us out on there. Go subscribe, like, share, do all of that good stuff for us, man. Show us some love. We need it on there, man. We need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Go over there right now and subscribe to the Fight Week show if you have not already. Connor, shout yourself out, my man. And again, look at this layout. Look at the logo. It's incredible, man. Thanks for all your work. Shout yourself out. Incredible work, man.
Yeah, feel free to find me on Instagram, cmo.editing. I do all this stuff for TJ, all of his editing stuff, all of his thumbnails, everything like that. So if you need anything like that for your YouTube channels or social medias, feel free to hit me up below, my name there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to more episodes of this show. We went really into it today, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But make sure, to subscribe to TJ's channel. We've got Lee on tomorrow, but that's going to be a good one. I can't wait for Lee tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you very much. Whenever you come on, it's always a blessing, man. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you guys for having me, man. And I know you have to move a lot of things around to accommodate this. So thank you. I wasn't trying to be a diva at all.
No, you are.
Yeah, man.
Man, anytime you say yeah, I can come on, dude. It was not a big thing at all. So really, really appreciate it all. You are welcome back literally anytime. So okay, again, the news is out. We have Lee Gunner returning to the American Idiot Show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK time. We move it back because Spanish time differences and all of that. But you will have me, Dal, Connor, and the one and only Numpty YouTuber, Lee Gunner. And then obviously tune into Lee Gunner's watch-alongs this weekend. He will be with our man, OLA, again, doing the Everton watch-along. I'll be in the chat for that. Let's be real. And then, you will see us both for the American Idiot Show and the match reaction for the Everton game. Until tomorrow at 7 o'clock UK, we're out of here.